Good morning. Welcome to MightyOxTrading. Friday morning. Let's see what the market has in store for us today. We've been heading down, down, down until last evening. See here on the NASDAQ. First of all, you can see the big move down all afternoon till the close. Popped up there, 50 points in a 5-minute candle. But we kept going down here and finally reached the low. I believe was at 14,606. And has since popped back up to 14,818. So about a little over 200 points of range. It's about right in the mid-range right now. So be interested to see where things go. No major news out today, so well, I shouldn't say that. No economic news, but there's some, I know earnings reports have been coming out this week. I haven't checked which ones are which or when they're coming out, but so that might affect things. The ES basically has done the same move and has about a 50-point range, which is pretty huge for the ES. Copper has about a math challenged at this early in the morning. The 140-point range. We see gold here come down. It's been riding high lately. About mid-range, and it's about a 14-point range so far. And Q giving us a signal. Let's check it. Big move, quick down into bands that are coming up. We'll expect that to bounce. The UltraBond. If you're seeing some other assets on my charts, just ignore them and just playing with some things. UltraBond. It's about a 1.5 range. Came up and pulled back some. Looks like it's trying to head back up now. And Crude. Crude's been riding high as well lately too. You see, it came up. It's yesterday hit another new recent high, and by recent I mean in the last 7 years. Last time we were that high was 2014. It's pulled back a little over a 2-point range. Looks like it's trying to head back up. Natural gas had been coming down the last few days. It's recovered some, and its range is about 150 ticks. Then the Russell. I don't know why I always make the Russell last. You see the Russell here has about a 30-point range. That's where we stand. There's that little bit of a bounce on the NASDAQ. We'll see if that bounce continues. We see that just a couple minutes ago, gold did something that I've been really watching with this Bollinger Band in the RSI, and it's something I'm going to start trading. I actually made a couple trades with this setup last night, small trades. I was running scared, but you can see here it broke this broke this Bollinger Band on the RSI, and it was well above 70 right here, this candle here. So I could have jumped in and grabbed this going down. This is a high, from what I'm seeing, this is a high probability setup that I really want to start trying to utilize. Same thing happened over here, though. Over here is a little bit more tricky because it first went outside the band on this candle, then still kept coming down for another 6 ticks, and then came up. And it actually started this move up. It had to pull back here. But even if you waited for this green candle, jumped in here, you could have got yourself 10 or 12 ticks. And if you wanted to hold through this pullback, then it could have continued going. And you got the buy signal there as well. So that could have been confirmation. So right now things seem a little bit quiet. ES sending a signal. Uh, Trying to head back up. You can see we've been kind of ranging in the indices last. This has moved down. Move down here on the Nasdaq was about a 70-point move. Then it's been kind of up and down since, making slightly new highs. Although here it failed, so not making new highs. So right now we're kind of in a range. Copper's been heading up slowly. Treasury with a short signal there. So I'm looking for those setups that I showed you with the RSI and the Bollinger down there on a bunch of other assets now as well. I have some pound and some yen up. I just want to see how likely this is to work on, or if I could just set alerts on all the 5-minute charts on different assets. If I can get a high win rate, I can jump in any one asset because it's the same basic setup. Yes, even heating oil and gasoline futures. But I won't allow that to distract me from the main things I check out: Nasdaq, gold, ES, copper, etc. January morning, trying to get some heat from the market. Nothing happening right now. It's boring, 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 boring. Time to find some binaural beats. This is the one I've been listening to. That's a little loud. There we go. Gold with a short signal. You see, since that where I pointed that out, that moved down, it's meandered over and then it'll come down. If I had a lot, and that's what happens a lot of times with this. You know, these reversals that break out of the band on the RSI tend to be the start of a move. And so if I had gotten in here, obviously I would have gotten in almost 2 full points if I had held through here. Now there's always a chance that you get in and it curls back up. But now I'm not taking this because we have uptrending SMA and uptrending bands, but we'll watch it. Yeah, it's bent the bands. RSI is trying to curl down, so this might end up being a good. We'll watch. This will be a learning move. NQ. So NQ sending as a short signal. It's kind of looking like it wants to come down. You can see here it came up here again. Basically same spot as here. And failed twice, but didn't keep the signal. It's popping back up now. NQ might be a difficult guy today. So far, we got that signal in gold that we're watching, and it's just kind of meandering sideways. want to thank everyone for joining me this morning. So far, you're only early going. Here from YouTube. Remember to hit that like button for me. So you see we are getting this short signal on NQ. Or it's trying to. It's just kind of playing with it. Let's see if it holds. Low of this previous move here, since it's come down, pulled back, up, down, was at 680. So we're 25 points from there before we get to a support area. So we'll watch. So everything's slow right now. And this gold so far does look like a dud, that signal. Seemed to be extraordinary volume last evening. Things are moving fast. Right now it seems like volume's down. Things are kind of moving slow. Copper's kind of squeezing there in the bands. Seen another example. I need to set up alerts on these. I want more look at the 5 minute than the 1 minute, but here's another example here on the 1 minute chart on natural gas of all things. We broke out of the Bollinger down here in the RSI. And here, let me make the RSI easier to see. It broke out here on this candle. So now we did have it went up a little bit more. Well, it only went up two ticks, so it didn't go up that much more. But so could have jumped in on that candle or waited to this candle. This came down 10 ticks. Remember, each tick's $100, but now it's since come down. It's down 22 plus 13, so 35 ticks. So it's a $350 move right here. Would have got confirmation with getting this short signal here. You could have got out quick for a scalp here as it came up to the SMA, because there was a chance that it could bounce there on the SMA and go. Or you could have just held until you felt like, you know, you can see here it bounced now. But that would have been a great move. Again, from that broken band. Now here's one that really didn't work, and I'm finding that these, if you see that the volumes are really low, they might not work. Came down, not only did it break the third band on the regular Bollinger Bands here, but it broke down here, and it popped up a little bit. I mean, it closed at 3898, and then this one closed at 3900. So it only popped up 2 ticks. $20, but with slippage and such, natural gas has been known to have spread good, a few tick spreads, so you probably wouldn't have got anything out of that. So here's another really good example though where it did work. You can see it just barely got below the RSI's Bollinger on that candle after a decently long downtrend. Not decently long, but and it went through the regular Bollinger as well, popped back up. Could have gotten in here if you wanted to wait for the confirmation, and then rode this wave up. It's definitely interesting. 1 minute chart though, the problem with that is got to be really quick to make that decision whether you want to take that trade or not. So that's why I'm playing more with it on the 5 minute. Go for more A plus setups. Finally getting that short signal on NQ. It's not moving in high velocity. It's pulling back or trying to. So we did get the short signal, but we also are seeing some green. Let's see. Do we want to jump in here? It's kind of iffy. Oh, it's acting squirrely here. Knock down a signal. Gold. Gold's trying to come back up. Copper trying to make a move downward. Looks like NQ, it was a mistake for me not to grab that. Pop back up on copper. You see the buy signal here on gold. We'll get back above this recent high of 1836.5. Bands are right there. Yep. NQ, big candle back up there. So nothing's really following through here right now. Look for, we'll wait a couple minutes from the top of the hour. Should get some more volatility then. Yeah, everyone, feel free to say hello in the chat. All my chatters seem to have disappeared. The regulars that were chatting. ES, ooh, did I just do? ES and Russell giving us long signals, but we're still the slightly downtrending SMA and bands. Crude. Not sure how I missed that signal. That's come down 15 ticks since that signal. That would have been nice. Copper, it's now giving us this buy, but see, it's tight. And it's hitting that third band. Good chance of reversal on that, at least short term. Yep, there's that bounce that I was just talking about. Wow, Bitcoin's broken under 40,000. It's down to 30, almost down below 38,000. Now, there's a good chance this continues to head down now. This is where I should have got in, honestly. Pop back up. Now looks like it wants to continue coming down. Oh, we hit the top of the hour, that much bounce anywhere on anything. Action seems a bit muted. Wonder if we'll see another big sell-off today. This very slow and boring time, good time to remind you that MightyOxTrading does have a Twitter now. You should come follow me on Twitter. I post my daily P&L there. I post some other thoughts here and there, and I give reminders about the live streams. Try and develop that. I like that better than Facebook. So this signal on copper would have been good, even with that pullback. It's continuing to head down. You can see here on the 5-minute chart on gold, we got above the Bollinger Band here on this candle on the 5-minute, right before I came on. Next candle went down 9, 10, and then 1. So we could have got a nice 2-point pullback to the SMA where it bounced. I'm really seeing a lot of potential, and it actually bounced just half an hour before that too. You can see it broke below. Now, this would have been a little bit tough because it did, on the next candle, it did wick down. It would have looked like it was going, matter of fact, it wicked down hard by a full point. So if I just jumped in there, I might have got stopped out before it decided to go. But then it came back up a full point and kept going. From this candle to this candle, it was all over 4 points. And obviously, if I gotten stopped out there, that could have jumped back in and tried to ride it back up. It's not going to work every time. There's nothing that's going to work every time. Nothing at all. We see that the indices are kind of grinding slowly down. Good morning, Vincent. I was worried about you. I was wondering what happened. Things getting better? Good. Hope they continue to get better. I thought maybe you had a big win and decided to retire to someplace in South America or something. So, nice big move up there on silver. Nice big move up there on gold. All the metals are moving up. Oh, whole bunch of signals at once. ES, NASDAQ popping up. Silver's giving me the signal for the reversal of play on the 5-minute chart. It hit the Bollinger Band on the RSI right as the candle closed. So let's see if it reverses. Did break the Bollinger Band, as you can see. So we'll watch, see whether or not this play works. It's come down 3 ticks. There, it's come down 4 ticks, 5 ticks, 6 ticks. There we go. So I'm not confident enough to yet to make a play on silver because the high tick value. But I'm just definitely watching this, and you can see that this works. Broke here, pulled back slowly, but still, remember, $25 a tick, so right here was, 100, 150 bucks. These are good scalp plays, or tight trailing stop. I mean, right now this is already going 200 bucks. And again, high percentage plays. You can see this working. Looks like gold actually did same thing. It didn't quite touch the Bollinger, but it made the same pullback. It did break through them, I'm going to be doing a lot of testing this weekend, and this may become a play next week. Maybe I might sim trade it a day or two just to be sure. Should always sim trade new ideas. We've now seen silver pull back 10 full ticks, which is $250. Would have been a wonderful play. And so far, that's the most exciting thing about this morning. Um, Said I don't think there's anything on the economic calendar for today. Let me just double check that so we don't get surprised. Nope, nothing this morning. Russell hanging right around its SMA. I hate it when it's slow like this. I have no idea what to talk about. Russell, again, sending a short signal. Gold and ES. Big move down there on the ES. 3.5 points. Gold. Pull back since that band break. By almost 2 points. Copper, this buy signal, which I wouldn't have taken there, but it was been good. It would have gone my profit target. So like everyone's sleeping in this morning. Even the discords are quiet. Wish y'all had told me, or I would have slept in too. Now let's look at some other charts. Let's look at the British pound, because like I said, I've been looking at some other things just for this one type of reversal move. They don't happen often. It does not break bands often. It looks like it has not broke. See, like this one has not hit that upper band at all. Now it's had some good reversal plays. It just hasn't hit that band, which I consider the A plus setup. So far, I shouldn't. That's maybe too soon to say that. I need to do more testing and trading on it before I consider it good setup. Uh, what's popping? Oh, we got some pop up here on the indices. Signal went away. Try to see if there's any reason for it to bounce here. Nothing obvious for the fact that it's been sine waving. Big pullback right there already. And there I missed it. So I hesitated because I saw that pullback, and now it's going, and that's what I gotta stop. Now it might only go up to this 200 EMA. We'll see. It kind of trying to bounce off there, but that would have been a good 10-point scalp. Treasury just dropped 8 ticks out of the blue. So it's having trouble getting above that 200 EMA. Morning, Walt. How are you this morning? Nope, nothing so far. I made 3 trades last evening, and I'm up $6.25. Yep. This morning's been slow. So rejection for the NASDAQ off the 200 EMA. Trying again. Strong candle up. Oh, wow. Nice job. Yeah, that drop yesterday afternoon on NQ was insane. Yeah, it's so much more easier to have confidence in taking a trade when you're on sim. Nasdaq now hanging right on that EMA. Crude pulling back. Sidewaysness. Yeah. Copper continuing to head up. Almost at its daily high. See, in relation to the daily, Nasdaq's about mid-range, so is ES. Nothing really exciting happening. Gold's toward the top of its range, trying to head back up. Treasury pulled back to about mid. Crude trying to head back up. Natural gas doing the same. Big move here up on copper. Since this signal here, it's gone up 60 ticks almost. No, about 50 ticks. About $625. Russell. Indices pulling back now. Not exciting. Although copper just made a new daily high. So get excited about that. Short signal on the UltraBond. It's being rather temperamental this morning. Nasdaq's falling below its SMA, heading toward the ATR line. That'll give us a short signal. Don't really like the short signal there, I don't think. If it pops, that is. And there. Nope. So we see here on this buy signal, eventually it went only, oh, went 13 points. Definitely not the type of moves you're normally seeing this time of morning. There's the NQ signal. Gold trying to sneak under its SMA. A little bit of a bounce here on Nasdaq. Copper above the 80 line on the RSI. Kind of leveling out. Natural gas. NQ. Pulling back again now, sending us that short signal. That's kind of interesting, really. The way it came up, pulled back, came up, pulled back, pulled back. Tried to come back up as now. That's a big move down. Compared to all the price action we've seen in the last 2 hours, really. Looks like it might be the biggest candle in the last 2 hours. Maybe this one here. It's bigger than that one, too. So that's an interesting move down. Let's see if I should have grabbed it. There's a bounce. So it came down that big move down and then bounced, which is something you'll see often, I've noticed, where if a candle comes out of nowhere compared to the recent price action, oftentimes the next candle will bounce back up. Or down, depending which way we're going. Copper, still hanging above that 80 line. It's going to pull back here soon. Nasdaq did bounce and bounce hard, right back up. Those three candles equal that one candle down. Pull back here. It's indecisive. Grinding back up on Nasdaq. Copper still heading north. Yes, that was an alert for soybeans. You see soybeans is breaking the third band. I keep calling it third band. The band on the RSI. Now, soybeans closes for 45 minutes here shortly, so I'm not going to even try to make a play. But we can watch that, see what happens. Just 16 seconds left to go in that candle. Big move up. I believe each tick is 6? I don't know, I forget, honestly. Now I got some stuff. Okay, so we'll come back. We'll see if this reverses. Let's see what NQ is doing. NQ has set a buy signal. This is kind of interesting because we're higher than we have been in a while. What's our high of the day? Okay, we're nowhere near high of the day. Never mind. It's pulling back here though. Obviously, one of these are going to go, but you can see the last, signals have really not worked at all. This is the last one that really kind of gave a decent move and went from 11 down to 86. This one would have been just a quick scalp, quick scalp, quick scalp. Total failure. Okay, so far the soybean did not follow the pattern. It's going to close in 5 minutes, so we'll watch. Natty gas. Buy signal. Big move up there on the NASDAQ. 15-point candle. So it came up, pulled back, and now went. Gold's still grinding. It's a grindy up. Grind. No big moves. These are like 2 and 3 tick candles. Russell. Now pull back there on the Nazi. Russell also pulling back. Crude is something I really need to start checking out more because it just moves. Seems like it moves really fast. And you don't realize it. Here it gave us this buy signal, and I must have dismissed it for whatever reason. And since it's gone in 22 minutes, it's going up $500 or 50 ticks, over 50 ticks. It's still going. You're in here off this buy signal. Just this quick 5-minute move. You know, it went 30 ticks. Copper finally pulling. No, it's not. I'm not sure what that signal was. But there's an interesting case here in copper. And I blew up the wrong chart again. You can see the bands down here starting to squeeze together. So it's staying above that 8 or right around that 80 line. Be interesting to see if the bands come down to meet it. It's a little bit of a pullback there. Couple ticks. Yep. Hey, how about that? So once again, I predicted this right. We saw the pull. We did get that pullback off that band bounce. It went up a couple of ticks. I think it went up 3 ticks and then pulled back by 6 or 5. I forget. I forget how these things work. It's their weird pricing structure. So once again, that worked. And it actually worked down here in soybean oil in the opposite direction. We see it hit there and then pop back up. And that popped up 21 ticks, and that I know is $6.25 a tick, or $6 a tick. Well, I can't. So that was about a $120 pop. So you see, copper's continuing to head up. Easily made some new daily highs. Let's look at the daily chart. So it did hit this high. It hit 4.6 last week. So we'll see if it can get above there. If it does, then it hasn't been this high since October. What a slow, boring morning, though. Not what I was expecting this morning. Not at all. At some point, copper's going to pull back. Okay, that's an obvious statement because everything pulls back eventually. But you can see this is a strong, strong move. It's gone up $1,500. This might be the pullback. But the reason I say that is you can see the bands, the RSI are all above the 70 line, hanging around the 80 line. So this is going to eventually come back somewhat. Now although remember, if it just goes sideways, that will bring it back down on the RSI. We're about 40 minutes from the bell. Kind of watching copper here because we have nothing else to do. The last four candles have been even, basically. Now the RSI line just fell underneath the Bollinger Band, so we might see an odd bounce up here, even though we've been constantly going up. We'll see. Big move down compared to what we've seen. Let's see if this is a green candle. I bet you this is a green candle. But we shall see. Maybe it won't be. Oh, no, big red candle. We're well below the Bollinger now, but this could be a move down. Let's see. Let's see if the next candle bounces. So this, if I had tried to enter here, I would be down 7 ticks. Short signal, but we still expect that bounce because the RSI is well outside that Bollinger. Let me make sure that Bollinger's on the right setting. Yeah, 2.5. So we're going to get a bounce here. I keep saying that. That said, if I just jumped in here, we would have already be at profit target. This is a 17 tick candle. Watch this come back up. It's already up 5 ticks. We'll see if I'm right. I mean, you see how confident I am. It's not like I'm entering an order on it. Up, there we go. We're up 8 ticks. That was the bounce I was expecting. Although it's flattened back out. It's kind of all over the place right now. So there you go. They called that bounce. It is back inside the Bollinger, you can see there on the RSI. So now it could just hang below that SMA, and you'll see that SMA start curling downward, and it will could start another downward move. He thinks I might have found a pattern with this. See, this is actually a really good bounce from 455.85 or up to 456.65. So that would have been $200 bounce up. Now the tricky part is where do you get in? Because it did stay outside the bands for like 3 candles. And my inclination would have been to jump in on this candle, and obviously that would have stopped me out. So when it goes this far out, a lot of times you want to wait for that move back. So, which was here, and then you could have jumped in this candle for a smaller move, but a safer move. Meanwhile, Nasdaq's continuing to try and push down. Russell probably popping back up. Ooh, big Russell candle. Could go for some Russell Stovers right now. Interesting, and I know I'm talking about this a lot, but there's not a lot to talk about right now. We see that on this candle, this red candle here, we came down and we touched once again, the RSI touched the Bollinger Band. Just barely. Technically it didn't. It came within a couple points. But the point still being, then we had this huge bounce. It actually bounced up 4.5 points. Definitely scalpable. we're just sideways. What's copper doing? So copper's now kind of leveled out. Looks like it wants to break back down below. And you see how quickly this move here got the action so far below that 80 line that it was hugging for so long. And look how quickly the bands spread apart. So my guess is at this point, this is going to continue sideways here and then finally curl down, and we're going to get a downward move to correct some of this huge move up. That really was a big, strong, I mean, really it started here. This was just a pullback. It was a big pullback, but it was a pullback nonetheless. And this, I mean, even this looks kind of like a pullback now that I look at it. So maybe I'm wrong about pulling down. We'll see what it does. And this is another thing I need to do more of. You can see this looks different. The way this is going up and how this looks like a pullback compared to when you're looking at it like this. That said, it's now pulling down again. But you still have these upward trending bands. UltraBond pulled back, now trying to head back up. Didn't really even see any pops at the top of the hour. It's kind of surprisingly just blah this morning. If anyone wants to talk in the chat, please feel free. And I'm just kind of rambling on about the same thing over and over and over again. Yep. See, now we see here I kind of wasn't watching it. Came up, this is copper, came up and pulled back right here when it broke the EMA. I'm sorry, the SMA. I should have jumped in. That's maybe not. Bouncing here. Let's see if it bounces and comes back down. It did move. Actually, it moved enough, I believe, for, let's see, 50 down to 80. My math is really sucking lately. 14 ticks, so no, it didn't. Came close. Bounced back up, bouncing back up here. See if it rejects off the SMA. Nasdaq sent us a short signal. This is exactly the level though it came down to earlier and rejected. But that just blew through that. So that was a missed opportunity on my part. It's down 10 ticks so far, points so far. Not a lot of opportunities so far this morning, so missing them is not a good idea. 15 points there. Yep, now we're starting to see the sell-off. Or I shouldn't say sell-off, but now we're starting to see momentum. That's 20. Let's look at support resistance here. Exactly the level it came down to here. An hour before Europe opened and bounced up. Just trying to get below that level. That low was 81. Yep, it's now below it. Next one's over here, about 71. This could be another sell-off. It's definitely another missed opportunity. Although maybe a bounce here. Oh, darn. See, this is why there's so many things to be looking at that you sometimes miss it. As I was there talking about it, it went outside the band, hit the 70 line, and then it's doing this bounce. Now this isn't a big bounce at all. 5 points so far. Let's see if it bounces higher. It did come down almost 25 points, or over 25 points actually. 707 down to 73, so it came down 30 points. That would have hit profit target if I had jumped in there before this bounce-ity bounce. But see, we are bounce-ity bouncing. Yes, I know that's probably annoying, bounce-ity bounce. Let's see what it does. That wasn't a big bounce. Well back inside the band, so it could continue down here. Morning, Ace. How are you? You got your 2 points yesterday and you kind of disappeared. So we didn't really bounce much, but we've leveled out here. Now it's starting to come back down. UltraBond heading back up. Totally kind of flattish now on copper. Indices seem like they're retreating now. So we were in this range for quite a while, really. I mean, now it's broken the range. See if we are bearish again today. crude with a signal. It's coming down. Oil pit just opened. It's below. It says, I'm sorry, it's below the Bollinger Band on the RSI. So I'm expecting a bounce on the next candle. Let's watch and see, because that's the high drama of the morning. No bounce yet. I could be wrong. Oh. Nope, no bounce. Down 4 ticks. Still outside of its Bollinger. A little bit of a bounce there, so I did call that one right. Only 5 ticks, but we say only when like $50 doesn't mean anything to anybody. Just one. Okay. No. A little pop back up on the indices. Good. So I should have jumped in on crude. You know, I did pull back by that 5, but now it's heading back down. It's down 8. So crude heading downward. Possible missed opportunity there. Nasdaq heading back upwards to the SMA. Did get a buy signal on the Nasdaq, another buy signal on copper. So looks like copper wasn't done. See, the high of this move earlier was 457.45. It looks like, I believe. Yep, that's what it looks like. Then is it going to push up more? UltraBond, a little bit of a pullback. Right now, the thing, I mean, gold kind of gold. I don't know why I try to say words that I can't say. Anyway, asleep, but this has been a big move. Started down here on this buy signal. I mean, it started before that. Technically, it started all the way back here. And it's come up, I mean, so since back here, this is where the move really started, it's come up with 10 points, $1,000. Had a couple pullbacks here and here, but this has been nice. So as we head toward the bell, about 10 minutes, let's look at the things. We see, copper hanging around its highs. Gold made a new daily high. NASDAQ is kind of trending down toward its lows, but still more mid-range, as is ES. The UltraBond made new daily highs. UltraBond with now over a 2-point range. Oil made a new high of the day. And natural gas is about mid-range. Russell, toward the bottom of its range. BTC, still around 38,000. Yep. And platinum's making a new high. So there we go. That's our quick synopsis. NASDAQ did bounce off the SMA line. What do we think, boys and girls? We're going to go down or up at the open? I want to thank everyone for joining me on this wonderful Friday morning. Here from YouTube, I'll love if you hit that like button, the YouTube algorithm, as we try and grow the channel. Subscribe if you haven't. Feel free to say hi in the chat. Uh, as we wait for the bell, I'm going to keep monitoring the charts, but I'm going to mute for a couple minutes and eat some breakfast. Quick move up here on the indices all of a sudden. 5 points on the S&P, 15 on the Nasdaq. Wow, like 40 points on the Nasdaq 5 minutes before the open. This is kind of weird. Ten points on the ES all of a sudden. pullback. As you see, both the Nasdaq and the S&P broke this band here, and there's a healthy pullback. Pulled back by 4 points. Can't pop back up now. It's interesting. As has the Nasdaq. Nasdaq pulled back down by 12 points. Is now about a doji candle break even on this candle. Still trying to head up though. Well, yeah, big positive move up here on Nasdaq. This is one of the times where it did pop that SMA, and I mean it did pull back. So you could have sniped 10 points, and then but it's continuing to head up. This is interesting, right into the open, and we basically seen it pop up 50 points. ES did do a pullback as well, but it's up by like 12 points. It was huge for the ES. So we're gonna move over to with 1 minute to go. We're gonna move over to just watch the NQ and the ES here at the open. I'm continuing to chew, but I'll start commentating in a minute. Seconds. There's the bell. Oh, yeah, dramatic pullback there for a minute. See, down 24 points. S&P down 6.5. 39 points, back to 22. Real quick, harsh moves here. So far down 5 points on the ES, but the Nasdaq has now turned green. So it went down 40 points from the open and is now reversed all the way back up over 50 points. Wild so far, very wild. We're up 23 points now since the open, but we're up 75 points from the bottom at the open. Big strong move up here. 35 points now. S&P's pop back all the way up, back up. It dropped 8 points at the open, and then has now popped almost all the way back. Struggling here at the EMA line on the 5-minute chart. Wow, big move up here, over 50 points now. Broke through that EMA where it was struggling. Still not the high of the day, but we're like within 10 points of it. Amazing over these 2 5-minute candles from the one from before the open until now. We're up over 100 points. That's $2,000 in 10 minutes. 9 minutes really, because we still got a minute to go in this 5-minute candle. $65 points, 66 on this candle now since the open. What a move. What a move. And we just touched I think we might be at the new daily high. Let me look. Yeah, we just hit a new daily high. Wow. Here's the pullback. See, we did break the Bollinger Band, the third standard deviation band. We're pulling back a bit here. 11 points. Let's check what everything else is doing. We got a short signal on gold. It's pulled back some. Not a huge move, and it seems like it's bouncing now. UltraBond, nice move down. Copper finally looks like it found the top there at 458. It's pulled back. crude. Big move back down. Russell blew up like the other two did. Although it was sideways there for the first couple minutes. Natural gas is sideways, so the action was there. You see now some pullback here, or trying here on the NASDAQ. S&P definitely came down 7 points in this new 5-minute candle. And see, the Russell broke its band here. Still continued to come up one candle, which would have hurt if we had jumped in there. That's one of the things you gotta be careful of. But then came back down. All depends on your risk tolerance there. If you feel it's definitely going to come back, that would have worked. ES. Definitely a big pullback now. So we had that big move up, and now the Nasdaq's reversed by 35, and the S&P's reversed by 10. Pretty wild here in the first 10 minutes after the bell. Big reversals. It's interesting that the Nasdaq made it up just to its previous high from the European session, like a point or two above, and then reversed. We're getting a short signal on the NQ. I don't know about that. I mean, obviously it's been a great short to play, but I don't know if it's gonna. Gold did a nice bounce. Buy signal on gold. Seems indecisive though. So I should have jumped in on that short signal on the Nasdaq. I thought it was going to bounce on the SMA, but it's down 21 more points. Look at the 5-minute chart now. It's given almost everything back. That was a 57-point candle down, and now another 31. So it's come back down 80 some odd points. Usually, I want to say that when you see a big move up at the open and then comes back down real quick like this, that's actually the second direction is actually the direction of the day. So we'll see. Gold did bounce, head down. Strong move down. This would have got me, obviously, my 30 points. Silver, big reversal in silver. It's into its band. down here. So we expect to bounce. We'll see how that does. We got 3 minutes on that candle. So these two red candles together ended up being 42 points or so. Copper now bleeding out big time. A little bit of a bounce here on Nazi. By little, I mean 18 points. UltraBond coming back up. So you can see here, if we go over to the NASDAQ, it's totally giving back everything from the open, and now it's trying to get back from that, the entire thing back from that 45 point move up on the candle before the open. The two green candles and the two red candles look almost identical, with the exception of the wick. That's a pretty amazing move. 100 points up, 100 points down. Over 100 points down. Another bounce here. So now we're indecisive. So, I mean, as you can see, I'm not taking any trades. This would have been an excellent trade to take, obviously. 748 came all the way down to 668, so 80 points. Now this bounce. ES, same thing. Though the ES gave me a band thingy here that I could have played. No, I don't play in a band, but big move back up here. If I had played this band bounce here, boom, 5 points, 8 points, 13 points, back up. NQES, and then, excuse me, buy signals. I don't know what to trust at this point. Indices are giving me trust issues. Pull back right here off the buy. Waiting to see if we go green. I have a chart ready. Yep, see, we already reversed by 21 points, so if I had gotten in there, that would have stopped me out. That's why I hesitated. And now that candle's down 36 points. This is moving very, very fast. What's good old Tesla doing? Tesla's all the way down to 978, but it had dropped as low as 886. That's a pretty big move down. NASDAQ trying to pop back up here. Looking for something to take. Don't want to force it. Obviously, I've missed some opportunities. That was a good move down on copper. I'm too skittish now on copper ever since it started, like, abusing me. Silver. We never went back and looked at that move on silver. Which was here. So yeah, pulled back by $275. Now it's at the other end of the spectrum. See if it also pulls back or comes back up on the next candle. Looks like Nasdaq's wanting to head down now. You see here it came up, pulled back, it tried to come up again, and now it's seems like it's wanting to go down. Velocity has slowed down some. And of course, as I say that, it pops up in a green candle. $15 on this candle. We're watching it. See if it gives us a short signal. It's I mean the low of this previous move was down to 668. We're at 685. There's the short signal. I just broke below that 685. $25 to go on this candle. We're in. Short on NMQ, and it looks like it's going to come up and nope. Okay, there we go. Thought it was going to stop me out right away. There's our first trade of the morning. Popping back up. Wow, we want to see some red. It doesn't look good. Okay, we just got stopped out. So, that didn't work. About a $96. Well, it came up, stopped me out, and then it's back down now. I got in at 657. Popped back up to 687. Really? So yeah, it did come up 30 points. So yeah, the stop out was good because I would never run a 30-point stop. But obviously, it's still coming back down. Now I would be in profit by 10 points. Frustrating. Silver's riding down that SMA. I mean that we have. Sorry, that Bollinger. No, that would have been a good trade if it wouldn't have came back and hit my stop. That wick up killed me because it's gone 20 points from my entry. ES, excuse me, ES and the Russell both did that same wick up. Excuse me. UltraBond hitting a new high of the day. Bounce up here on the NASDAQ to the SMA line. Gold with some ugly moves down, but down nonetheless. So we're back inside of its band, or outside of its band. With this move down. So we'll see if it reverses. Keep watching my new technique to see how well it works. So yeah, that annoying wick up there just sucked because as you can see, you know, entering in 56 or 57, whatever it was, it's now down 40 points. But I wasn't going to run a 30-point stop. Hold on a minute. I'm back. So we did hit the band here on gold, and it bounced up by a point. Just an interesting phenomenon that I may have figured out here. Definitely going to play with it over the weekend, and then I'm going to try and trade it next week. I want it to be funded by the end of January, which means I need to hit some $1,000 days next week. Everybody die out there? Is there anybody out there? Is there anybody out there? So bounce there, and it came up 38.1. So 18 ticks. That was a nice move. Copper trying to bounce up here to the SMA. Crude oil. Just a, I mean, obviously I missed opportunities, but these moves would have ended up taking me out of these and then drop. It's just a odd morning altogether, it seems like. Crude popping up. So you see this big move down here on crude. Um, is about a 100 tick drop. Natural gas is heading down. So you can see these moves here on the NASDAQ are not smooth at all. First you had this move down, which is fine. Yeah, this is a nice move. This is the move I missed. Then this one, came up. Buy signal failed. Came down. Sent a short signal here. It seemed late compared to the fact that, this was like 80 points into this move. Came up. That wicked me out. Then it came down a little bit more. Sneeze. Then it would have came up and knocked me out again. Then there's big move down, 50 points on that 1 minute candle, just out of nowhere. And now it's rebounded all the way back up above where that was. Just nothing smooth about the trends this morning. Just looking over some charts. Copper. Copper sending a buy signal. Gold heading down. Does that mean it failed? Kinda. S&P and NASDAQ kind of bounced off, riding down their SMAs. Boring morning. I mean, obviously there's been some good moves, but NQ at its daily low. Just broke its daily low. 50 points on this 5-minute candle. So it looked like it might be an up day. Well, turning into a down day right now. As NQ breaks 14.6 under 14,600. Yes, also making a new daily low. What level did you get in at, Ace? Oh, but yeah, it looks like you're making up for those losses because, I mean, you're, what, up 20 points right now? Bit of a bounce here, though. By the way, Ace Vincent stopped in earlier. I'm not sure if he's still here or not. He has COVID. That's why he's disappeared for the last week. Says he's recovering slowly. Wasn't trading today. Was just watching the stream. Uh, I don't know about that, but I know there's a lot of people getting this variant, the Omicron variant, vaccinated or not. Great job today, Ace. See you Monday night or Tuesday morning. By the way, yes, I am pro-vaccine. Before anyone wonders, I'm not. And I believe in the vaccine. I don't want to get into that debate on the stream about people that might not believe in that. I try to keep politics out of the stream. Of course. Nasdaq did pop back above 15,600. I'm sorry, 14,600. 15,600 will be really something at this point. Kappa, kappa, kappa. Buy signal on kappa, kappa, kappa. Gold's continuing to head down now, giving back all of its gains. Yep. Nasdaq dropped back below. Looks like it just made a new low of the day. Maybe not. How low did it go before? Oh, wait, I'm looking at EST. Okay. There we go. So earlier I said that when Nasdaq was doing this up down up then back down, I said that the second move after the open seems to be the way it goes, and I was definitely right. It's dropped over 250 points since the high. It's 5,000 bucks. If anyone went in and just held. Pretty nice ski slope there. I will point out here on the 5-minute chart, if you look here, Nasdaq touched the bottom Bollinger, the RSI did, at 805, which was this candle down here, and then popped back up and basically it wrote that all the way back up for 150 points, 140 through the open. Or he could have just grabbed a quick scalp on the one candle, 16 points. You notice it also then, it didn't touch, but it just about touched on the open candle. It basically predicted this fall. It did pop back up by 11 points, but I usually run a 15-point stop, so that would not have stopped me out. Or if I really had conviction in that move, I would have just ran no stop or a really wide stop. And has then come down since. Probably go for another 20 minutes or so here on the stream, see if we get anything exciting. I obviously missed the big moves, got stopped out when I did try to take one of them. Not the greatest week, but we will get there. Big move, wow. All of a sudden, 10-point candle up. What did NASDAQ just do? NASDAQ, 35-point candle up there, followed by, so we're up 50 points in the last 2 minutes. Actually, a minute and 50 seconds, 10 seconds. Crude all of a sudden popped up, and the UltraBond popped down. All of a sudden, just something just stirred the market. But you know, that was I mean, like I said, 35-point candle, and we still didn't get up to the SMA line. Gold's still falling hard. Copper, after its big move up earlier, is back to about mid-range. See, gold here hit this high of about 1843.7. It's come down 10 points, almost. So big boost back up here on the NASDAQ. All of a sudden, almost 100 points back up. Well, over 100 points back up. It reached 15,532 and all within 5 minutes, 100 points. That is just insane. Although I do want to point out, this is getting more and more interesting. You see how this was below the 70 line and really it did not hit the Bollinger, but very close and reversed. That makes more sense. Can we get one trade today? One good trade. One good trade. That's all I want. And if I grabbed that, that would have been giving me a one good trade. It's just so hard to play these more this fast moving NQ. Yes, I guess that would have been a good play there. I don't usually trust big candles like that, but that would have been an awesome play. As with the Russell. So I guess I gotta start trusting these signals. Crude also gave a good signal there. My own fault for not taking any of these. What a rebound on the NASDAQ. Almost 200 points in 10 minutes. This is absolutely insane. S&P, 30 points. I have to start trusting these signals if I'm going to be using them, because not using them just costs me a lot of money. So I'm just kind of, sorry, I'm not talking much. Just kind of staring at these charts and wondering how I missed everything. That happens too often. Yeah, I got a little skittish. Once this wick stopped me out, and these big moves make you kind of skittish. Even trading micros. So the way it was coming up, down, it wasn't, I don't know. This was an obvious clean move. I mean, it pulled back there, but other than that, this is going up 200 points since down here. I'd love to jump in, but you just get the feeling that when you jump in, that's when it's going to finally find the top. Hasn't even been any pullbacks. Except for that. I mean, this was one I've been coming up here. And these are insane. It was a 100.5 minute candle. We're seeing a pullback here now. Went up to 79. It's pulled back to 51. UltraBond. That was the 5-minute indicator. Hold on a minute. Yeah, look at this pullback here on the UltraBond. 5-minute chart. 53.48 to 52.50. It looks like this is going to bounce. Let's look at it. How many? We have a minute to decide if we want to do something. Let's look at the 1-minute chart. It's trying to bounce. It's not finishing below, so I don't know. Definitely looks like a bounce opportunity there. Yep, it's already started the bounce, unfortunately. It already bounced, kind of bounced, and it's no longer touching that band. Interesting whether you should get in right when you get the notification, because it did bounce. It's already up 5 ticks. So we'll see if I should have jumped in there. Not sure why I'm feeling so skittish today. NQ finally pulling back. And it's a 50-point pullback. No, it's almost a 100-point pullback. This is ridiculous. Things aren't supposed to move 100 points in 3 minutes. Thank everyone for joining me this morning. I see I have more people here now than I've had all morning. If you hear from YouTube, please hit the thumbs up button, the like for the YouTube algorithm. I appreciate that. I'm gonna go for another few minutes. Let's try and grab something here. Let's see if that UB did bounce. Not a big bounce. Only 2 ticks here so far. Continue watching that. Again, continuing to test my theory on bouncing off that band. NQ, sending a short signal. Yes, it is. Do I take it? Do I take it? Real quick. No real guidance on the 5-minute. Seems like it wants to bounce off the SMA. See if it gets below the SMA. Don't want to sit here forcing a trade. A big move there. 13 points up, 14 points up. So it's good that's why I don't blindly take these signals, because things like that happen. Now let's see if that gets beaten back down. If that gets beaten back down, that's a good sign that we do want to go short. Coming back down, we'll break the SMA. Low here when we got this short was 14,680. We're at about 87 now. Let's check on that UltraBond real quick. So UltraBond did not bounce. So I was wrong about that. Back to NQ. Sitting right here on the SMA will break. I don't see it coming back up here and continuing up. But these are two big moves to play against. See, UltraBond's still playing outside of its Bollinger on the 5. On the RSI. It's going to bounce here at some point. I just don't know where yet. Coming back down now on this. Thank you. See, it struggled to get below this level here. You can see how all 5 of these candles kind of came down to the same area. This is a strong 15-point candle. It was up to 20 points. Okay. So we're going red, green, red, green, red, green. Now it's coming down. Broken the SMA. Oh, another bounce. Size of these candles are anywhere between 16 and 22, 25 points. Which is hard to believe you're saying it, this looks sideways, but it does, even with the size of those candles. It knows it's riding right along that 200 EMA. And that was a 30-point candle. See though, because it was kind of flat, the bands have gone horizontal. SMA still slightly uptrending. Now we can start looking for that reversal if it bounces off the bands. Or it can just keep going up and make you wish you had gotten in for this 50-point ride. Actually, it's trying to send a buy signal here. Yes, doing the same. $41-point candle. We're almost back near the high of the day. This is absolutely amazing. Pull back. So NQ came all the way down to 514,532. Is already back up to 514,800. So that's 250, 270 points in less than an hour. Well, about half an hour. High of the day, 1418 and a half. I'm sorry, 14,818 and a half. Seems like it's struggling to get above that. It's tried a couple of times here. Remember, that's about where it leveled off at in the European session as well. Pulled back by 15 points. See, it's trying to come back up now. Gold, after its long meandering trip down, is trying to come back up. Hey, I've used the word meandering like 5 times today. I'm not sure that's good or bad. Back up to 810. Pushing back up toward the high of the day. We'll stay on for a couple more minutes. It's kind of flat now. Yep, pulling back. Okay, folks, this was not an eventful day, and it was not a fruitful day, but it was a day. I'm going to do some more analysis over the weekend. Come back next week to try some new stuff. But that's the end of the week for me. I do want to thank everyone for joining me, and I hope you'll join me again next week. I'm here on Monday night, and then Tuesday morning, and then Wednesday evening, and then Thursday and Friday morning. 7:45 Eastern in the evening, 7:30 Eastern in the morning. And once again, thank everybody for coming out. Have a great weekend, everyone. Bye.